Hey guys, Destined, Bellfire, Unquenchable Bloodlust here. We are back at it. We're back at it again with another scary story video. And as so to make so before I start the video, I want to tell you guys how what my goal is before the end of 2024. Yeah, so I'm already aware that I've been making scary story videos since 2023, since last year. Yeah, I've been so I don't know how many videos I have so far right now, but I'm planning to make two. So until the end So until it's the end of 2024, I'll want my goal is to make my 100th scary story video by the end of 2024. Yeah. For whatever, for how much scary story videos or riddles or urban legends I have so far, I'll make my 100th scary story video until the start of 2025. Until 2025, which we are. I know that we're like wait that we are many months away until the end of 2024. Yeah, like about I don't I don't know, maybe like 6 or 7 or 8 months from the end of December of 2024. But yeah, that's my dream. That's my goal for this. To make my 100th scary story video until the end of 2024. But but enough chit chat. Let's get on with the main part of the story. With the main part of the video, which I have, which inter, I can't even say it, which introducing this scary story called Water Everywhere, or for short, WWE. Sounds like I'm like implementing the WWE wrestling game. I don't watch any sports game on TV. Let me know in the comments of what sports you watch on the TV. I don't watch any sports game on TV. Yeah, and specifically don't watch any sports on TV. But yeah, so this is the story. Water everywhere. And as you can see, the description is a scary story about a group of young teenagers who find an underwater cave at a swimming hole. And it looks pretty nice for the person who wrote. Yeah, as you can see, the picture is really nice. And let's get on with this. But yeah, before I start reading it, I want you guys to please like, subscribe, and comment what you guys think. And if you guys could please subscribe to my channel, and I would really appreciate it if you do for me. But enough. But with all that to the side, let's get on with the story. So this is Water Everywhere. Enjoy. The curtain rises on the theater of the abyss. Last one in has to swim the hole, shouted Corey. The 4 boys and 2 girls followed him as he raced across the field that sloped down to the swimming hole. Corey reached the edge first. He grabbed the rope they had tied to a branch of a tree and swung himself way out into the middle of the pond. Then he let go of the rope and dropped in. Brandon and Wendy dived in next, followed by Warren, Kelly, and Cliff. Mel tripped. Mel tripped and fell on the way, so he was the last one in. Mel has to swim. Mel has to swim the hole, shouted Brandon. Mel sighed. All right, he said. Let's get this over with. Let's get this over with. He jumped into the water and swam over to the far side of the swimming pool. There was a deep cave underneath the underneath the surface, and the object of the game was to swim down into it. They called it swimming the hole. Inside it was pitch black and very eerie. Corey had placed a little ceramic figurine down there one day. You had to feel around in the darkness and grab this little statue. You weren't allowed to come back up until you had it. Then you had swim down again and put it back for the next person. Mel took a few deep breaths, dug under the surface, and quickly disappeared. The other kids gathered around the hole and waited. I think this water's getting dirtier, said Kelly. Remember when we could see the bottom? Now I can't see a thing. What's taking Mel so long? Corey exclaimed. It hasn't been that long, said Brandon. Has it? For a moment, none of them said anything, but as the sun grew, so did their uneasiness. Ignore it. Just ignore it. Do you think something's happened to him? Asked Kelly in a quiet voice. Don't say that. Don't say that, snapped Brandon. Maybe one of us should swim in, suggested Wendy. He could be stuck or something. Wendy's right, said Corey. I'll do it. Just then, Mel's body suddenly rose into view from the murky water. All 6 of the other kids let out terrified screams. His eyes were bulging out like ping pong balls, and his face was purple and bloated. They splashed around in the water in a frantic attempt to get back to the opposite shore. Each child tried to put as much distance as possible between themselves and the hideous dead body of their friend. Oh no. Wonder of what killed him. Corey pulled himself up on the grass and looked back. Cliff was laying on the bank crying. Warren was close to the shore, but Brandon had stopped a few feet away and was treading water. He was shouting and tugging at his sister, who was floating, and yelling at Kelly. Kelly was holding on to a bush that hung over the hole. She was staring at Mouse's body and didn't seem to hear Wendy calling her. She just stared at the body, gently pushing it away when it nudged up against her. Kelly! Wendy screamed. Come on! Warren pulled himself ashore and turned to watch. Come on, Kelly, he shouted. Time to go! Kelly looked over at his friends as if she was in a daze. All of a sudden, two watery tentacles shot out of the water and wrapped around her. She was suddenly yanked under the water. Wendy screamed and Brandon pulled her by the arm. Corey's mouth hung open in shock. Then Kelly's body shot into the air. She was held around the neck and waist by 2 tentacles that looked as if they were made out of water. Kelly was trying to breathe, but one of the tentacles wound itself around her neck and strangled her. The thing smacked her against the surface of the water and then dragged her under once again. Of course, his feet seemed rooted to the spot. He dimly heard the others screaming, but it wasn't until he saw Warren try to hit the thing with a tree branch paralyzed that his paralysis broke. He raced over to help Brandon and Wendy out of the water. Kelly fought her way back to the surface one last time. There was a sound like branches snapping as the tentacles pulled tight and crushed all the bones in her body. Then her limp corpse was dragged back under the water. No, Cliff was crying. No, no, no! Come on! Corey sobbed, grabbing in his arm. We can't just leave her, said Warren. What else can we do? Yelled Brandon. He pulled at Wendy, who was sobbing hysterically. We have to get up, Corey shouted. The kids ran. Hold on a second. The kids ran to the nearest house and called the police. Soon the riverbank was swarming with adults. The police and the fire department arrived, but they couldn't find any bodies. The water was too murky, so a boat was brought down and they started to drag the bottom. The other kids were interrogated for most of the day. They soon realized that no one was ever going to believe them. Finally, after hours of being questioned by the police, they were allowed to go home with their parents. That night, Corey was feeling sick to his stomach. He didn't say a word during dinner. All he could see in his mind's eye was Mel's bloated body. All he could hear was the sickening crunch of Kelly's bones. After dinner, he went to his room and lay on the bed, running the memories over and over again until he couldn't bear them. All of a sudden, he sat up in his bed and staring at the wall. The water, he whispered in horror. Oh no! He jumped off the bed and raced downstairs. Grabbing the water, he frantically dialed Brandon's number. It was busy. Frustrated, he slammed the receiver down. Then snatched it up again and dialed Cliff's number. Cliff's mother answered on the third ring. Hello, Mrs. Powell? It's Corey. Can I talk to Cliff? I'm sorry, Corey, but he's taking a shower. A shower? Corey shouted. No, Mrs. Powell, get him out of there. What? Corey, what are you talking about? Corey was talking so fast he could barely understand himself. It's a water monster, Mrs. Powell, made out of water, and the stream runs through the sewer system, and the water monster could go anywhere, and it knows that we've seen it, and... Corey! Cliff's mother snapped. This isn't funny. Now I know that you've had a horrible experience, but I don't think it's very nice of you to call up and try to scare Cliff any more than he already... Her lecture was cut short by a terrible scream from the bathroom, and Corey heard the phone clunk against something as Mrs. Powell dropped it. Corey's chest was heaving, and he felt as if he were going to throw up. Staggering, he made his way to the kitchen. His mother was washing dishes until his father cleared the table. Corey, his father said, are you all right? Corey was about to answer when something swelled in the soapy water in the sink. His mother screamed as two tentacles shot out and wrapped around her, pulling her down into the drain. Holy. Well, that's the story. That's the story. Uh, that's the story about water everywhere. Seems like that that water tentacle monster came from the swimming hole that Mel died and Kelly died. Looks like that monster came from the swimming hole that where Mel and Kelly died. Seems like it came back and decided like to, I don't know, maybe like to haunt them, to haunt the other teenagers, that came to the swimming hole. But yeah, that was my spooky and horrific, petrifying story. Yeah, I that was actually pretty scary, to be honest. But alright guys, so that was water everywhere. If you guys enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe for another scary story, riddle, urban legend, once whatever the time is to to upload it, or for whichever day it is. But but with all that to the side, I'm just gonna have to end it off here. But that's all I'm gonna say to you guys. Later, the curtain falls on the theater of the abyss.